4. Turning around, breathe. And breathing out, we start again. Grab that rainbow. Pull it. Yank it. Good. 2, 3, 4. Now bend to the earth. Reach it. Touch it. Good. 2, 3, 4. And squat. 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 And reaching to the right, to the sky. Got it. Left. Now reach to the stars. First the right, then the left.
I don't honestly think either one of us is ever going to look like that, do you?
Not if you sit in that chair, you won't.
4.
Maybe if I wore that outfit.
What outfit? She's wearing a bra and dental floss.
4.
Did I leave the door open?
I used my key. It's amazing, isn't it? How simply watching an exercise program can actually affect the metabolic process.
Pull it. 2,
Might those be cookies in a bowl of milk?
4. Now
There are
bend to the
fiber
earth.
in them.
Touch it.
Besides, haven't you heard your whole life how cookies and milk make the perfect combination?
Oh, joy, more workmen have arrived.
Well, at least they're on schedule.
Do your best.
Always. Thanks, Dad.
Hey guys. Yo, Tim, how's it going? Good. My mom baked Mrs. Hutman some muffins.
Does this go in the dishwasher? Mary?
Brian was good with his hands. He built the gardening shed for Mom. Just about single-handedly kept this house on its foundation until she died.
Your mother would be very proud of how beautifully you've taken care of this house.
Say, are you in the mood to peel beets?
Oh, no thank you. I don't even want to be in the same house with Beats.
Bye, neighbor.
Hey, Tim, do me a favor. I have a problem with the hose, some kind of blockage. It'll only take a minute. I really appreciate the help. Let me get these boards in the house. Good thinking.
Cut the next one down for us.
I just called you.
I'm not home. And I won't be until much later. Do you want some more coffee?
No, I wanted to tell you why I came over in the first place.
Okay, tell.
Well, ask, really. Are you doing anything tonight?
Several things is more like it. I'm spending a few hours at the animal shelter, and then I'm spying on another bookstore to see what their book signings are like.
Okay, just chalk it up to another lost opportunity.
Let me guess. Another last-minute fix-up, and this time he's really Mr. Perfect.
Well, no, he's not. But I did mention to him that you were, and that you might be at dinner.
Sorry. Thanks anyway. Good luck.
Look down inside and tell me if you see anything. You see anything? What's going on? Now?
Are you all right?
Yes.
What happened?
He's accident prone. Bill, turn off the water.
Steve.
Get back to work.
I'm really sorry. I could do something to fix it. I know how, and I could if you wanted.
Go on, I'll work it out. Hey, we know you didn't do it on purpose. Huh? It's okay. Go on. That's a good guy.
How in the world did that happen?
Have your gardener replace the plants and you send me the bill.
Thank you. I don't have a gardener. He quit last week. Something about hay fever.
Just tell me what to order and I'll find somebody.
Well, let's see. Foxgloves, Impatience, Marigold, Dale's Azalea. What about your worker?
Which worker?
The one who did it?
You mean to fix it up?
Well, he said he could.
That young man, he's a few cans short of a six-pack, if you know what I mean.
I don't care if he has two heads as long as he can do the work. Is there a possibility he knows something about gardening?
Well, this old man's a retired landscaper. We go back a ways. Tell me what you want him to do.
This guy has played tricks on you before, right?
He plays a lot of tricks on me.
All right, so you should have been on your guard against him, right?
I should have been on my guard with him, that's for sure.
Okay, now, the next time this same guy asks you to do something for him, what's the first thing that's gonna pop up in your mind? Huh? The first thing gonna pop up in your mind is, this guy plays tricks on me. Maybe he doesn't really want me to do something for him at all. Maybe he just wants to play a trick.
I'm never gonna fix the hose for him anymore.
You're damn right you're not. You're never gonna do anything for him anymore because he can't be trusted.
That's for sure.
Good boy.
Except, I might do something for him sometimes because he's a pretty nice guy.
Go tell your sister and Stephen to wash up for supper.
What would you say if I asked you to marry me?
If you asked me to marry you?
I'm conducting the Justine Melville preliminary survey.
Mom says it's time to wash up for supper.
Tim, don't ever do that.
Mom told me to.
No, I know, but what I mean is, don't sneak up on people, especially when they're together, yeah, alone. Let them know you're there by knocking on the door and saying, "Excuse me."
Excuse me.
Hey, guess who I ran into downtown this afternoon? Hank Pern.
Hank?
Mm-hmm.
That lived across the street from us when the kids were little. Oh,
Same guy.
heaven's sake.
Heavier. Same frizzy hair, only less of it. I told him Justine was practically a judge now.
Dad, that would make me the only person in history to graduate law school and go directly to the bench.
He asked if I was talking about the little kid with the two front teeth missing.
Dad!
Stephen, you've hardly eaten. Are you sick?
No. Just a little nervous. Okay, there's something I have to do, and I guess I better get it over with. Justine, with your family as my witness, I am kneeling on your kitchen floor, which is murder on my right patella, to ask you to be my wife.
It's a ring.
So if it so pleases the court, the plaintiff requests an answer of yes or no. Your Honor? Honey?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, that's great. Congratulations, Steve.
Congratulations.
That's wonderful. Come here. Come here, darling.
I'm getting married, Timmy.
I thought that's what it was.
Come here, give me a hug.
I'm not sleepy.
Any idea why?
Is Justine going away?
You mean when she marries Stephen?
Uh-huh.
Yes. She and Stephen will live together.
Will she come back like when she came back from college?
She'll come back to visit, but she won't live here again.
Will she still be my little sister?
Forever and always. But I'm gonna have a life with Stephen now, Timmy. We're gonna have our own home together. Someday we'll even have children.
Everything that's the end of one thing, Tim, is the beginning of something else. And that makes us happy and sad at the same time.
Why can't Stephen come live here?
Well, he's leaving his family too, to be with me. You know, that's what you do when you grow up.
I want you to live with me.
We'll live together again someday, Timmy.
When?
You know, my brother missed me when I left home to marry your dad. But if I hadn't married him, I wouldn't have had you two angels, would I?
Sometimes I'm not an angel.
No. It's time for sleep.
Okay. I guess you can marry Stephen.
Thanks, big brother. Now that I have your permission, I will. Good night.
You know, as long as I have to get up every 4 hours to dole this stuff out, the least you could do is have a good attitude. Come on. Come on. Good. All right. That's it. Cats. They ought to make tuna-flavored medicine for cats. Remember, it's Saturday. It's the day we sleep in.
Excuse me. What do you think you're doing?
That must be a trick question.
No, it's not a trick question. I just want to know. What exactly do you think you're doing?
Cutting the grass.
Well, would you stop, please? Would you stop? I'd like... Stop! Do you have any idea how inappropriate it is to just march into someone's garage without permission and create ear-splitting pandemonium mowing a lawn nobody asked you to mow in the first place? It's 6th... what?
It's yellow.
It's cat medicine.
You have a sick cat?
No. I'm a volunteer at the shelter. Some cats needed medicating through the night, so I took them home.
I fixed the flowers.
Thank you.
You want to see?
Okay. It's perfect. How long have you been here?
A few hours. I like to see the sun come up. Did you ever think that if you got up after sunrise that you could have slept for 2 days and skipped a whole day in between and you'd never know?
No, I never thought that.
I don't want to skip any days, that's for sure.
No, I don't either.
I weeded and fed the flowers, and I turned the compost in the back.
That was very thoughtful, thank you. I'll pay you for any extra work you've done.
Oh, no, you won't. I broke the flowers because I wasn't on my guard. My dad says you have to take responsibility for your actions. He says, do more than people expect, Always mind your P's and Q's and never take no for an answer.
Father has a lot to say.
That's for sure.
You can put the mower away now.
Sorry, no can do. I've got to finish a job. You've got to finish the jobs you start.
Your
My dad
said
says that. He says a garden is like the person who grows it. And yours is pretty happy. But it could be more taken care of.
What's your name?
Tim.
I'm Mary Horton. Tim, how would you like a job?
Well, I've got a job.
No, I mean on Saturdays, taking care of my garden.
Sure. I'd like that a lot.
Okay then, Saturdays, but not before 9 o'clock.
Not before 9, that's for sure. Mary Horton? You're a very nice person.
It's just one Mary. Thank you. You're a very nice person too.
Yes, I am.
Good morning, Forbesy.
It might be good if it weren't for the damn cicadas. I don't know how they can hear themselves think.
Well, the way I understand it, cicada don't have brains or ears, so as far as they're concerned, it's just good vibrations. Anything happening I should know about?
Oh, your travel agent left a packet by the door. It's under the counter. Where are you off to this year?
Oh, I don't know. Someplace quiet. Valley, I think.
It's the rainy season there. You better bring a good book, if you can find one.
So, what's the scoop about tonight?
I got the coffee. And the rental place will deliver the chairs by 3, and the bakery called to say that the pastries will be here at 11.
You know, when I was spying at Pages the other night, they were handing out free bookmarks.
We don't have bookmarks.
Well, I have to go to the nursery later. I could pick some up on my way.
You haven't found a gardener yet?
Actually, I think I have.
Why can't he go to the nursery?
I'm not sure he drives.
Oh, you hired a kid?
No, a man. Apparently with some limitations.
How unusual. Can he garden?
He can most definitely garden. And he's charming.
Charming is important in a gardener. At least Lady Chatterley thought so.
And one for Tim. Hey.
All right.
Hey, Ed, how you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Still doing construction?
Yep. And I got a new job, too.
Oh, yeah?
I'm gonna be a gardener for the lady next door to my other job.
I could use a little work myself. Tell me your secret.
I fell into the lady's bed.
Come on, knock it off, will you? Get your minds out of the gutter. You had an accident and fell in the lady's flower bed.
Oh, yeah, right.
My boy, don't think that way.
Take another look, Ron. Remember, boys will be boys.
thank you all very much for joining us. In a few minutes, our esteemed guest will be ready to sign your books. And in the meantime, we have refreshments for you.
Terrific. Really terrific.
Thanks.
Mary, it was great.
I may have mentioned Joel to you, Mary. David's old college friend.
David's former college friend, if you don't mind.
Well, anyway, Mary Horton, Joel Shore.
Hello.
How do you do? Your program was nicely done.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, I do freelance consulting for event packaging, so if you're interested, there may be some ways of making these evenings of yours even more successful than they already are.
We're going for a drink. Why don't you join us? Take advantage of some free advice?
Sounds great, but I really should stay here. Maybe another time?
Absolutely. Another time. Nice having met you.
Joel.
You didn't even give him a chance. He could have been Mr. Right.
He could only have been Mr. Right now. Dale, there's no such thing as Mr. Right.
Right.
Do your best.
Always. Thanks, Dad.
Son. Remember, be a gentleman.
So, you know how to prepare a plot for planting?
I know how to do that, that's for sure.
Okay, well, everything you'll need is here. I made a planting plan. It shows where I want all of the various crops to be. For example, the shelling peas go there, and the snap peas go over here, and so on and so on. Does that make sense to you?
I've planted vegetables lots of times.
Okay, well, let me know if you need anything.
Okay. Excuse me. I didn't knock on the door because there isn't any, but I said excuse me.
So you're finished then?
Easy as pie.
Well, now I know there's at least one other person on the planet who can read my writing.
I didn't need the plan.
But I asked you to use the plan for a reason. I like to rotate my crops.
I did. I rotated them.
How could you have without the plan?
I can tell where you planted things last year by the old leaves and vines on the ground.
That's certainly a special gift, but do you by any chance wear glasses?
No.
Tim? Can you read?
Are you going to have to let me go?
The thing is, I may not always be here when you come to garden. In fact, I'm going away in a few weeks. I I'd hoped I'd be able to leave you instructions. They give me such a headache. How did you do that?
He's the choir master. When you stop him from singing, they all stop.
How did you know where to find him?
His voice is different. I can hear him.
I can't.
I can't really read.
Have you ever tried to learn?
Once. It's real hard. You don't want to get rid of him, do you?
No.
He just does what he's made to do.
I own a bookstore. I bet you a nickel I could pick out some stories you'd like.
Probably.
Or if I could teach you how to read.
No.
Why?
Well, it would be bad if I...
If what? If it were hard, or if it took time?
If I couldn't do it, Dad'd feel bad.
Well, and I don't know absolutely that I could teach you, but still, we could try.
I really like you, Mary Horton, that's for sure. And you like me, too. Frog ran up the path to Toad's house. He knocked.
The K is silent. She's just keeping the N company while he does the talking. So, it's...
He knocked on the front door.
That's it. There was no answer.
Toad, Toad, shouted Frog. Wake up. It is spring.
Blah, said a voice from inside the house.
Read that part again.
Blah, said a voice from inside the house. All right. Your homework is to work on this story until you can read the whole thing just as beautifully as you read this part.
Okay. Did I tell you I'm keeping our lessons a secret? I'm not telling Mom or Dad. I'm especially not telling Justine.
Really? Who's Justine?
Oh, there you are. I brought back the magazines I borrowed.
I was just on my way in. You remember Tim?
Hi.
Hello.
I'll be in the house if you need me.
Ah, giving a party I'm not invited to?
It's Mother's china.
So it is.
I take it down every so often and wash it.
You should use it, not clean it.
Well, I did use it. But then, one day, not long after Brian died, I dropped a cup and it broke into about 1 million pieces. And so did I. Now, one little cup made me feel like I lost my mother and Brian all over again. Stay and keep me company?
I'll dry if you trust me. So, he's the new gardener?
When he fixed the damage he did so well, I decided to hire him. You don't mind, do you?
Not at all. I was just wondering if the picnic lunch was part of his contract.
It wasn't lunch. It was a snack.
A snack.
He brings his lunch. His mother makes it.
Oh, I get it. The lunch isn't part of the contract, but the blanket and lying in the grass.
You know, I would imagine that living in the clouds would get to you after a while.
Hasn't yet. He is stunning, though, isn't he?
He has a mild impairment. I discovered he couldn't read well enough to follow the written instructions I left him, so I decided to work with him on it.
Even so, it could fall into the category of a stray cat rescue.
I didn't find out he had the problem until after I hired him. He was so thrilled to have the work, I couldn't bring myself to disappoint him. Okay, I admit, I have a mushy heart.
Except when it comes to getting fixed up.
Dale, I had one magical, truly wonderful relationship. That's more than some people ever get, you know.
I do.
And I like my life, and I like working, and I like rescuing cats, and I even like having nosy neighbors as friends. And I admit he's painfully attractive and very sweet and really very pleasant to be with. But I'm not interested in another relationship, Dale. Sorry.
Whoa!
Well, let's have a little drink to our kid, shall we? You know, I'm not much of a champagne man. How would you rate that one?
I believe that's a wedding vintage.
I told the guy in the store, I said, these folks are used to the best. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing.
Huh?
I just thought we should wait for Tim.
Well, if we do, we're gonna have flat champagne and a cold dinner. Tim's got 2 jobs now. We never know when we're gonna see him.
But gardening is the job he loves. He takes after Ron that way. And even though he's only hired for Saturday, he goes over every day and checks things out. All he ever talks about is what's growing, what's blooming.
And Mary.
His boss, the old lady gardener type.
Well, here's to Justine and Stephen.
Here, here.
May the wedding go off without a hitch. Except this.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Mary brought me home because we have a surprise for you.
Oh, Mary, I'm Esther. I'm Tim's mother.
Hello. Well, we didn't realize you had company. Maybe we should do this another time.
No, Mary. Mary, this is John and Beth Willis.
Hello.
And this here's their boy, Stephen, about to be the groom.
Nice to meet you.
And this is Tim's sister, Justine, about to be the bride.
Congratulations.
There you go,
Thank
Mary.
you.
Timmy, this is Stephen's parents.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Don't you want to hear the surprise?
Well, of course we do, Tim.
Sure we do, son.
Frog walked into the house. It was dark. All the shutters were closed. Toad, where are you? Called Frog. Go away, said the voice from a corner of the room. Toad was lying in bed. He had pulled all the covers over his head. Frog pushed Toad out of bed.
Tim, that's wonderful.
You did that?
Actually, Tim did it.
His teachers could never do that. Oh, Tim.
Hey, let's have a drink to Mary and Tim, huh?
And don't forget Frog and Toad.
Yeah, right then. Frog and Toad and Mary and Tim.
I'll just go fill this up again. Let me help. What can I do? Oh, not a thing.
It's lovely that Tim is learning to read.
Oh, he's a fine young man.
Yes, he seems that way. And so sensitive.
Yes, he is.
Makes me wonder, the way this wedding affair has mushroomed so, I wonder how comfortable it'll be for Tim.
Well, Justine wouldn't dream of getting married without her brother there. And I believe Stephen has chosen him for one of the groomsmen.
I didn't mean the ceremony. I was thinking about the reception.
Oh, he's very familiar with the social hall at the church. And as long as we keep it to family and close friends, the way the kids want.
Don't tell me John's secretary didn't call you. I don't know why he doesn't just fire this woman. She does this all the time. We booked the Park Pavilion for the reception. There's so many of John's business associates that we just can't leave out.
Tim knocked his glass over.
Oh, is he okay?
Yes, he's fine. You know, I couldn't help overhearing what you were saying, and I don't know if Tim told you, but I have a beach house where I spend the weekends. It has a guest room. Actually, I was thinking of asking Tim to do some work for me there. Maybe after the wedding, Tim could forego the disturbance of the reception and come out to the beach with me.
Tim's right. You are very nice.
Hi.
Congratulations, brother of the bride.
Thanks. She looked beautiful.
You look very handsome.
Thanks.
We were awfully grateful to you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Be a good boy now, huh?
I don't think Justine likes you.
Why not?
She says you're too young. I'm ready.
Okay, give me a minute. Okay, ready.
No, you're not. You have to put on your bathing suit.
Well, I'm not gonna go swimming.
Yes, you are.
I come here almost every weekend. I never swim.
But I want you to.
I'll watch you.
I don't want you to watch me. I want you to swim with me. Besides, it's silly to live at the ocean and not go in the water. You should go in the water. Please, Mary Horton. It won't be any fun without you.
It's okay. Why don't you try the water?
You come too.
I will.
Now.
I'll catch up to you.
having fun. Did you ever love someone so much that you left your mom and dad and brothers and sisters and went to live in another place?
Well, I don't have any brothers and sisters, and my father passed away when I was a little girl. But I loved someone once and moved away from my mother and lived someplace else with him.
A husband?
Mm-hmm.
Same as Justine. Steven's parents didn't want me at the party.
No, they didn't.
I'm slow, so sometimes people don't want me around. I can tell you want me around. And it's not just because you're lonely. See, I think you don't like that many people. At least not as much as you like cats and dogs. But when I'm around, I can tell right away you feel happy. That's for sure.
You better go in now.
Just 5 more minutes.
Doesn't look like anyone's home.
Mom's home. She rests in the afternoon. Mom, we're home. Mom? Mom's resting. But she must have been really sleepy to rest on the floor.
Tim, your mother is sick. You stay with her. I'm going to call for help.
Mom? Mom?
Esther Burke Melville, we who have known and loved you, return that part of you which is earth to the earth. And that part of you which is spirit, be consigned to God's loving and everlasting care, where it may find peace. The Lord bless and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and give you peace. Amen.
Will she be cold?
No. Her body doesn't feel anything now.
But she'll miss me. Won't she?
She won't feel any pain or sadness, but she'll always love you.
Come on, Timmy. It's time to be with family. Thank you.
Tim? Ron? Hello, anybody home?
When you say interactive,
Hello?
multimedia, how can it be interactive?
Well, it's very important that there's some kind of exchange between the person and the program.
You two need to change your scenery.
The more common forms of interactivity are involved in what we call
You know,
brain.
given the choice between your beach house and Bali, I would have gone for Bali.
The trip's postponed, Dale. It's not canceled. Now, these need a good soak every 3 days or so, depending on the weather.
How's Tim?
I'm not sure it's real for him yet. It's his father who's having the hard time.
Mary, do you think you've gotten into this thing over your head?
Maybe. But I don't think so. I feel like what I'm doing is a good thing, and I'm just taking it one step at a time.
Well, watch your step.
You should walk as much as possible. It helps.
All I want is to be where she is.
That's how my mother felt after my father died. She said it over and over. All she wanted was to be with him. She just wanted him, and I just wanted her.
Never in a million years thought she'd go before me. I was the one taking all the pills. We used to talk about how Tim and her would manage after I was gone.
You and Tim will be fine. It won't hurt this much forever. I promise. I'll go get him. Tim, speak to me.
You're always touching my dad. I don't want you touching him.
He's sad, Tim. I'm comforting him.
I'm sad too.
I know you are.
You don't comfort me. Why don't you comfort me, Mary?
We're here, Ron. Tim's with me. We have to talk about what just happened privately. Just the two of us. We have to go back to the house now. Tim, please. Good morning.
Oh, morning. I made some coffee.
I'm glad.
Oh, I made a long-distance call this morning. With my lawyer. Something I had to discuss with him, and it involves you. See, me and Esther saved for Tim for after we're gone enough to put him in a group home. And it's not a bad place. No. And there'll be others like him there for companionship. But they say the happiest ones have family that visit and, look after how they're doing and help them manage. And
That sounds right.
so, last night it came to me to ask if you'd be Tim's family after I'm gone. To be his legal guardian.
What about Justine?
No, me and Esther agreed. Tim would be out of place with her and Stephen and the high-powered careers and a lot of little kids running around. And, oh, look, you can tell me I'm way out of line for this. I couldn't talk it over with Esther like I'm used to doing. It's just that you've got a way with him.
Okay, talk.
Last night, when I comforted you, we started hugging each other in a different way. And then we kissed. The first part, when I put my arms around you, that was comforting. The next part, when we kissed each other, that was something else.
I know that, Mary.
That's something married people do. Hold and kiss each other that way.
Justine and Stephen did it when they weren't married.
Well, they were planning to be married. Tim, We're friends, and I want us to be friends forever. But we can't be friends unless we promise each other never to do what we did last night again.
Why?
Because it changes things I don't want changed. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
You know, your dad and I have been discussing your future. He's concerned because he's not so young anymore. And he wants to prepare for the time when he goes to be with your mom.
You mean when he dies?
Yes.
It's already been arranged. I'm going to live with Stephen and Justine and whatever kids I have by then.
Your dad mentioned to me he thought you'd be happier with some other arrangement. He found a place. It's a converted house, actually. A center where you could live and have friends. He asked me if I would become what is called your legal guardian. It's someone who would visit you and help you whenever you needed it. I went to see the place last week. If you lived there, you could have your own life, and I would be available whenever you needed me.
Would you know when I needed you? Or would I have to tell you?
Whoop.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just that every time I wear this shirt, I get a spot on it.
Here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know the difference between stew and mush?
No. Do you?
Well, if your father and sister get here in 2 minutes, we'll be having stew for dinner. If they're much later, we'll be having mush.
Smells good.
You're early, Dad. In 2 minutes, we're having mush.
What's cooking? Or should I say, who's cooking?
Technically, I'm cooking, but the truth is, without Tim's gardening talents, we'd all be drinking broth for dinner.
No. The truth is, I grew the vegetables, but Mary seasoned them just right, that's for sure. And there's magic in the way she's stirring them.
Magic in my stirring, how about that?
Excuse me. What's going on?
Could you please tell me what business Mary Horton has in my mother's kitchen, wearing my mother's apron?
She's cooking vegetables she and Tim grew together. What's the matter with you? Mary's been a godsend to this family since
You know, I would really like to know just what goes on at the beach house.
Justine, what's gotten into you? That woman in there's been like an angel of mercy to me and your brother. As far as I'm concerned, she's like a member of this family.
She may be like one, but the truth of the matter is she isn't one. And unless you're thinking about adopting her, I'd like her to get the hell out of my mother's apron.
What are you talking about?
Excuse me. Dinner's ready.
Oh. Yeah, well, Tim, just give us a few minutes, will you? I've drawn up papers to make her Tim's legal guardian after I'm gone.
What?
I've thought this through, Justine. She's got no kids of her own. She's free to give him all the attention he needs, and like as not, she'll leave him some security when she passes on.
Dad, have you lost your mind? I'm his sister.
Yes, and you're married now, and soon you'll have children of your own.
Not soon. Stephen and I have discussed...
You will have a family of your own. Honey, I know you love your brother and he loves you, but believe me, with a career and Stephen and children, it just wouldn't work. You've got to look at the big picture, Justine.
Dad, why don't you look at the big picture?
What does that mean?
Come with me.
Mary said we could eat because Miss Manners says after two people are seated, you can start eating.
Gee, I'd have never guessed that Mary even knew Miss Manners. But since we're talking about acceptable behavior, why don't we bring my father into the 20th century and explain to him what your relationship with my brother is all about?
Justine, that's enough.
I'd be happy to. My relationship with your brother is all about friendship.
All right. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I suppose there is a remote possibility that you actually don't see it yourself. You're attracted to my brother whether you're willing to admit it or not.
Justine, this is
I think it's time for me to go.
I don't want you to go. You know, Justine, you're not the only girl that likes me.
I know that, Timmy.
And I want you to call me Tim. You don't call Stephen Stevie.
Timmy, Tim, I'm trying to protect you.
Because you think I'm a freak.
I do not. Is that what Mary tells you your family thinks?
I never have and never would in my entire life say such a thing. I'm sorry my friendship with your brother is so difficult for you. I respect how much you care for him.
You have no idea about my feelings for my brother any more than you know anything about me. But maybe you should. You know, maybe you should know that all of my life, I've done everything double. Once for me and once for Tim because he couldn't. And I've done it better than perfect, so there would be so much accomplishment and so much recognition that it would spill over onto him and he could shine too. And it worked. Every time I did something good, you could see how it built him up.
But now I'm built, Justine. Just like you are. And I don't want to live in a center when Dad is gone. And I don't want to live with you either. It's not what I want. I was gonna ask you, but I don't have a ring, and I know I'm supposed to. I want to be Mary's husband and live with her in her house. Mary Horton, would you marry me?
Enjoy your book. Did you file the Liberty shipment packing list?
Probably why.
Oh, there was an item missing. I need to follow up on it.
Oh, no, you know, they shipped it. I shelved it and sold it a week ago.
Sorry. Guess I'm not up to speed.
On the contrary, it looks to me like you're in overdrive. Oh, your travel agent called a few minutes ago.
Couldn't he get me on a flight?
I know. He called to ask me if you're all right. And he said, if you are, he's going to kill you.
I realize you've been holding this place together on your own lately, Forbesy. I appreciate it.
I know that.
I've gotten myself into a situation that started out simple and ended up not simple. It needs a cooling off period. That's why I'm trying to get away.
You don't need to worry about anything here. After 15 years, I pretty much have the drill down cold. There is, however, one thing you might consider. There's a possibility that you will finally get to Bali and find out that what you're running from has come along for the ride.
You gonna eat anything?
I'm not hungry.
Well, I know I don't cook like your mom, but it's still food. Have you been to bed with Mary? Have you kissed her? Made love to her?
We kissed each other once. She made me promise never to do it again.
But you didn't?
I kept my promise. You taught me to keep a promise.
Even though it hurt your pride, she was right to stop you from doing that again.
No, she wasn't. She liked kissing me, I could tell.
That may be true, but she knows something you don't. And that is that what you take for true love is really just a crush you have on her.
I want to marry her.
I know that's what you think you want. Your body wants a woman, Tim. That's different.
My body wants Mary.
I know it's smart, son, but believe me, it'll pass. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to enroll you in a social program at the center. Then you'll see. There'll be other women there that are more suitable for you. And who knows, maybe you'll find one that's just right.
Tell me something, Dad. Were you ever slow? So then that means you're not me. And that means you don't know how I feel.
Not exactly.
I don't want somebody suitable. And I don't want somebody just right. I don't want somebody at all. I want Mary. And if you're ever interested in how I feel instead of how you feel, then I'll tell you why I want her. I sure wish Mom was here, don't you?
If you like historical fiction, you'll love this.
Thanks.
I'm going away for a while to make things easier for both of us.
You didn't answer my question last night.
We can't marry each other, Tim.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, there is the difference in our ages. I mean, when I'm an old woman, you'll still be young.
Then I can take care of you, Mary.
And a good marriage is based on similarities, so that people who marry each other are alike and they enjoy the same things.
We like to garden. We like to swim together. We like to read to each other.
I can't marry you, Tim.
Because I'm slow. You love me, Mary, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
Then why?
I'll drive you home. Is that all you have to say?
Haven't lived this long by giving advice.
I'll miss you, Tim. That's for sure.
You think you know how much you'll miss me, but you don't. Because missing someone happens when you don't expect it. And you feel like the ground is gone and you're falling and there's nothing to hold on to. Isn't that how it feels when you miss your mom and your husband? That's how it's gonna feel about me, too.
What are you still doing here? It's after 9 o'clock.
At the moment, I'm trying to find a sale that I lost. But I am willing to admit that only a minute ago I was locked in a torrid embrace. It's good. You should read it. Did you come to keep me company?
Came to look for a book on relationships.
That would be Psychology, 2 aisles down on your left.
Tell me, Forbesy, when you think about your life, I mean, your life up till now, do you have regrets?
Is this a near-death experience? I mean, are you the one that's going to take me through my life in review?
No.
I just want to know.
Sure. I wish that I had let my gut navigate my life's journey more than all the shoulds I heard from everyone around me.
And where do you think your gut would have taken you that the shoulds didn't?
Into some wonderful trouble, I imagine. The truth is that all my life I had damn good reasons why not to do this and why not to do that. And now all I can remember are the things that I didn't do. Has it ever occurred to you that all of these tomes, all these pages, all these words are nothing more than the ongoing age-old attempt to figure it all out?
It has occurred to me.
And have you ever realized that nobody has yet?
And if they ever do, we'll be out of business.
So, by logical progression, it seems to me that the only thing to do in this life is to write your own book. Make it up as you go along. Hey, I haven't finished reading that.
I have something I want to say.
Would you like to sit down?
No. Mostly, I listened to my dad all my life because he's a man. My mom didn't say very much, but she was very nice and very good.
She seemed that way to me.
And she told me something about married people. Maybe she thought I would be married someday. And it was different than what you said. She said the reason she and Dad stayed together so long wasn't because they liked the same things.
Tim, I'm not sure that...
She said they were good together because of how they worked out the things about each other that were different, especially if they were really different. Like my dad bowls and my mom hated bowling, like that.
Did she tell you how they worked out their differences?
She was patient. And she said my dad didn't mind it so much when people had different ideas. Dad gave me advice. But my mom knew how I felt. I know I'm slow, Mary. But I'm not stupid. And I'm not a child. Mary, I'm not taking no for an answer.
You don't have to. My answer is yes.
Sorry, but this is kind of a shock to me. Tim told me he was serious, but I had no idea.
How come you married Mom?
Because he loved her. Can we please try to figure out what we're going to do about this?
What did you love about her?
For crying out loud, Tim.
You know what, Justine?
What?
There are things about Stephen that I don't like.
Tim.
And I don't like his parents either. And there are even things about you that I don't like, but that's okay. Because mostly, I love you.
I fell in love with your mom because she was gentle and good, and because she loved me.
That's why I love Mary.
We understand that, Tim. But the question is, and I'm trying as hard as I can not to be insulting. Why does Mary love you?
Ask Mary.
You're young, Justine, so I'm not certain you'll understand this. I've only just begun to understand it myself. But the needs of companionship change when you get older. I loved one man for a very long time, and he loved me. And after he died, I didn't want to love anyone anymore, or be loved by anyone. But when Tim started loving me, I realized how much I wanted not just a man or a relationship, but a kind of love I'd given up all hope of ever finding. I love Tim because he's Tim.
It's different having a kid like Tim. The rest of us, we give our hearts away a few times and get them punched out and build up walls for protection, but with Tim, there's a part that's always a kid, open and trusting. I guess it just scares us to see how easy it is for Tim when he lets himself love.
Mr. and Mrs. Tim Melville.
Do I look like a bride?
You look beautiful.
Bet you never thought Tim would be my type.
Listen, dear, after all the years I spent trying to put you in a pair, I'm delighted. I was beginning to think you didn't even have a type.
What do you think Mother would say about all this?
Oh, I know exactly what she'd say. Mary, dear, have you given any thought to taking the cats out of your bedroom?
Hi.
Hi.
Justine, this is my friend Dale. This is Tim's sister, Justine.
Holler if you need me.
Open it. It's not a bomb or anything. The apron my mom always wore was one that Tim gave her. I gave her this one, but she never wore it. Not even once. I thought maybe you might.
I will. Thank you.
I'm not crazy about Stephen's parents either.
You know, when the time comes, Tim and I would be very happy to babysit.
Wish me luck.
It looks like we're about ready to start, so if we can all quiet down. I understand the groom has a short reading for us. It's a passage he's chosen from a favorite book of his, especially for this occasion.
Toad blinked in the bright sun. "Help," said Toad. "I cannot see anything." "Don't be silly," said Frog. "What you see is the clear, warm light of April. And it means that we can begin a whole new year together, Toad."
Think of it, said Frog. We will skip through the meadow and run through the woods and swim in the river. In the evenings, we will sit right here on this front porch and count the stars.
And on that note, dearly beloved, we are gathered together here in the presence of God, to witness and celebrate the joining in marriage of this man and this woman. The union of husband and wife, in heart, body, and mind, is intended by God for their mutual joy, for the help and comfort given one another in prosperity and adversity. Therefore, marriage is not to be entered into advisedly or lightly.